Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another Warcraft replay here as we get into full screen. There's gonna be a Netease ladder game on the map Amazonia. Yes, one of the simplest maps in the game. We have Undead versus Human. We have Blade spawning in as the the human player in the top right. They call me MN, I guess. I guess that's kind of close to his. They call me Imba, I think that's his other alias, but he has a lot of aliases. This is the first time I'm going to be casting Blade. He is an up-and-coming, I guess, Warcraft player in 2018. I'm not sure how well he will do, but he has shown pretty good results in the tournaments that he has participated in. Not that I've actually watched any, but the people who he's been facing is probably not too notable, but you know, that does come with experience. His opponent is going to be Lucifer, who is, I guess you could say, experienced. He's been around forever, and I've been casting Lucifer since I started, and I've came to like Lucifer quite a bit, and he is going to be going for the Dreadlord first. Haven't watched this matchup too much in the recent patch, and I'm curious to see how it will evolve. But Dreadlord first, I think we have seen it recently. I say recently, but I haven't casted it in so long for my past couple of videos, so I guess that kind of phrase might be a little inaccurate, but Dreadlord kind of plays it how you expect. Ghouls, mass ghouls, sleep is very good still, and we might even see carrion swarms. Carrion swarm being used. Is it carrion or? I completely forgot, but Lucifer is spamming a lot on those pings. Dreadlord will be popping out, and those ghouls are going to move out as well. Probably going to start with the double camp here, as is Blade on the top side. Humans definitely love this kind of camp because it is very, very easy to just wipe out with very little damage received. Lucifer, on the other hand, has to struggle a little bit. He doesn't even have a corpse available for his skeletons, so he will have to wait and take down the wizard there. Is going to pick up +6 claws. Meanwhile, Blade only gets himself +2 ring, so that will be very useful for Lucifer very soon. For the meanwhile in the game. I'm not sure if he's going to sell it, depending on what kind of heroes he gets. I'm actually going to move my mic a little bit. It's a stand-up mic, but somehow I placed it when the direction of my second screen instead of my main screen. So it's rather weird facing the opposite side when the actual game is happening on my left. But yeah, either way, level 2 early for both sides. I'm not sure if we're going to have a fast expand, but it seems like Blade really wants to get that fast expand down. Gonna be a little bit of a risk since mass school opening is definitely a lot more threatening than a slow, TED opening from a Death Knight and Skeletons. We are gonna have a bunch of ghouls moving out, and the Dreadlord with no Vampiric Aura does tend to make me believe that Carrier Swarm is learned. And they might be able to get a very good hit down, very nicely done, and the Scroll of the Beast is also going to be used as well. Those ghouls, a couple of them are ensnared, but they are going to be wreaking havoc against those peasants. And let's see how well Blade can actually deal with this. He might be forced to use TV Scroll if he doesn't want to lose all his peasants, which is pretty disastrous if another Carrier Swarm actually gets cast, but the Dreadlord is out of mana currently, is able to pick up a couple of these low hit point footmen, and might be able to get that level 3, which is kind of scary because that might give him enough mana to go for another Carrier Swarm. But no, it seems like the Dreadlord is going to be shy a little bit, except that Peasant is going to say no, and level 3 should be gained. Ghouls are being traded around. Archmage is already level 3 thanks to picking up a couple of ghouls, as well as clearing out this camp by himself. Is halfway to level 4, and yeah, both sides getting fairly early level 3 heroes here. Tier 2 is on the way for Lucifer. Blade is going to try again with his fast expand. Militia have been brought over, and they are fresh militia, so they are going to take some time to turn back into peasants. Right now they're just doing nothing. Lucifer I guess wants to try again. He still has plenty of ghouls available, as well as skeletons. Actually, he doesn't actually have that many ghouls. Those skeletons are making up for half of those units. But here we go again. Do we have another charge of the skeleton stick? We do. So here we go. 5 peasants. Probably not going to be enough. Swarm only hits 2 of them, but to be honest, like, it doesn't really matter. These peasants are being chased away from the expansion location. Once again, the ghouls will be able to pick up a couple of stragglers, but yeah, can the Dreadlord stick around and fight the Archmage? It seems like Lucifer is indeed confident. He will, I actually don't remember Carrier Swarm's mana cost, but it should be at least 100. Maybe, I'm thinking something crazy like 130. But here we go, sleep onto the Archmage, and this will most likely be a TP being forced here. And since he is invuln, he can obviously not be hit with a sleep. Bit of a risky TP right in front of the Dreadlord, but I guess he doesn't really want to TP at the back, even though he did clear these trees here, so he can just pop right out. Graveyard is going to be placed down as soon as tier 2 finishes. A bit of a sloppy timing there from Lucifer. Right now is kind of a dead time right now. He can't really transition to Crypt Fiends like he wants. Hasn't even placed down the slaughterhouse because of the graveyard. Does the slaughterhouse need a graveyard? Well, for now we're gonna say it does, since he has not placed it down, and from memory I've always seen the graveyard being placed down before tier 2 finishes anyway, so yeah, there is that. Goblin Alchemist comes out as the second hero, and we have double whammy, different heroes for Lucifer, which is interesting. But Healing Spray could potentially be a pretty deadly combo here. Not combo, but just very potent ability for the undead player. Is able to get a Sleep Surround onto the Archmage. Blade, a little bit of a mistake moving out without a new healing TB scroll. So that is a little bad there. Healing Spray going to be cast onto those ghouls as the Dreadlord tries to cancel that the Town Hall, but it seems like that is not going to happen. Healing Spray once again being used, but not onto the Alchemist himself. Remember 1.29, the Alchemist no longer heals enemy units, but that is going to be a nice Footman Surround onto that Alchemist, and that will be a pretty easy second hero kill there for Blade. The only sad thing is Lucifer still has plenty of ghouls available, and this elemental is going to run out very soon. Archmage is now back. I believe he was Tavern revived, as yeah, he needs to be a little careful not to get Sleep Surround again, but it seems like the footmen are enough to push away the ghouls. Most of the peasants have been massacred, and that probably is a win for Lucifer. Tier 3 going straight into it. We are seeing some gargoyles being queued up here. No slaughterhouse just yet, so not sure if these gargoyles are going to be heavily invested or not, but Black Citadel is halfway completed. There should be a slaughterhouse being placed down, considering how many footmen are already on the field, and tier 2 is not even done for Blade. So like, destroyers this early on could be pretty devastating, but yeah, for now, no slaughterhouse means no early statues, which means probably not even gonna see a slaughterhouse being placed down. I'm not sure how Lucifer is going to do it. And of course, like I said before, I've been away from the scene a little while, so I don't know how things have actually settled, but I don't see how Lucifer can actually progress through this mid game right now, unless he wants to solely rely on his heroes. Could work, could potentially work, but you can see how quickly those ghouls actually get mowed down there by those footmen and elementals. Despite Healing Spray being used, it is still only a level 1 Healing Spray. And yeah, the surround, even if he gets a surround out, like, there's so many footmen on the field right now that those ghouls are just going to get quickly DPS down, and the Alchemist, when he tried to go for the surround, is going to get killed off. At least the Archmage does die before the Alchemist, so the Alchemist does get the experience needed, but yeah, I'm actually surprised the Archmage died again. Blade just still doesn't want to replace that TP scroll. Gargoyle is going to try and do some harassment, free harassment, since there is actually no anti-air available aside from that one elemental, which will be expiring very soon. Archmage needs to be revived again, but he is going to be revived at the altar this time, so it's going to be a little whiles away. Footman actually did surround the Dreadlord at the back and is going to force the TP scroll there. Gargoyle probably should get out of the way unless he wants to also retreat, which probably didn't want to. Now he's forced to actually fly back all the way to Blade's expansion. Yeah, I guess it's pretty pointless since a single Gargoyle probably wouldn't have been able to take down all these towers, which are going to finish very soon. And yeah, that just makes me think, why are we still making gargoyles? Sword has finally been placed down, but I mean, again, Black Citadel is done. Lucifer has to waste time actually making statues instead of finishing off that destroyer research, so slightly inefficient, I guess, for Lucifer. He's gonna attack the expansion once again, but with just his skeletons, but with 2 guard towers and a couple of guard towers. Okay, no arcane towers just yet, but guard towers will do nicely. They will do nicely against those gargoyles at least. Arcane towers, wow, Blade's not even going for a single arcane tower, so okay, needs to be a little wary about that Dreadlord. I still don't, I actually didn't search up if buildings are mechanical or not, so I don't even know if Carrion Swarm actually hits them or not. But for now, Dreadlord is very close to level 5. Carrion Swarm would be pretty painful, if only it didn't cost so much mana, but I think that was slightly tweaked by 1.29 if I remember correctly. If not, I think that's just the damage. But Archmage gonna hit very soon at level 5, which is surprising considering how many times he died this game, but yeah, Sassuar's camp is gonna get cleared out. Top left, the mercenary camp is getting cleared out. I'm not sure if any mercenaries are going to be popping out for Lucifer, as currently I think he's at 50. No, he's not. He's not even close. So yeah, he is at 33 versus Blade's 43. So yeah, probably shouldn't attack anytime soon, especially with such a weak army right now. 2 statues, a couple gargoyles, and just his 2 heroes. Destroyer form is going to be activated, but only 2 destroyers, 1 with mana, versus a bunch of towers right now. Illusions are going to be able to soak up a lot of the damage, and Healing Spray going to try and keep those gargoyles healed up, but I mean, it's unarmored versus like a tower, which is probably not a smart idea. And here comes the defense finally. The elemental get completely annihilated by those destroyers there, but now without mana, need to be a little wary there. I probably should have checked if that Carrier Swarm actually did damage or not to those buildings, but yeah, level 3 Carrier Swarm, Fluid of Accuracy. Here we go once again, another Carrier Swarm coming out. There we go. Yeah, it did some damage, I guess. I guess level 3 doesn't have that impressive damage, but those destroyers are quickly burning down that tower. Or so I thought. Mountain King comes out and is going to Stormbolt the Alchemist. Alchemist is going to cast the Healing Sphere once again, knowing that the Mountain King no longer has the Stormbolt, and the Sleep is going to be cast to prevent another Stormbolt, but it's a little too late. Alchemist ran away. Probably stuck. Yeah, he probably stuck around a little too long, and the Mountain King just woke up and tossed another hammer. So I think that's Alchemist's 3rd death. So lots of hero deaths there, and Lucifer is now upside down supply. Whoopsies, I guess, but
Our forces are under attack.
yeah, he's currently at 50, so at least population has actually gone in Lucifer's favor a little bit. He is now 10 up versus his opponent, but his opponent just finished tier 3, and he is mass producing those flying machines, probably for those destroyers, so I could definitely see a switcheroo from Lucifer coming in, but I mean, what can he actually go for? He currently has 0 crit fiends on the field. He is at 50 supplies, so it's not really easy to just sack his units and not leave yourself exposed to a counterattack. Yeah, so those flying machines will be able to see some use. Spellbreakers are coming in, and yeah, that just makes those destroyers even more irrelevant. So, kind of a tough situation for Lucifer to be in. Halfway to level 6 for his Dreadlord, but I honestly don't know how well that is going to pan out, because I believe Blade is just going to be producing his tier 3 army, which so far it just seems to be flying machines and spellbreakers, which I guess is enough versus just destroyers slash gargoyles here. So 5 destroyers in the air, they are destroying those towers right now, and they are able to do a good job, but it is just towers. They need to get a little bit more out of this instead of just wiping out those guard towers there. And they are just going to go after those peasants. Here comes the flying machines, and they are going to scare those destroyers right away. Flak cannons, I believe, is upgraded, so able to do some splash damage against those guys as well. And of course, they are just going to be chasing those destroyers down to 3, very much close to 2. As nice carrier swarm there. That is actually going to give level 6 over to the Dreadlord. So I'm not sure. Did that carrier swarm actually one-shot those hitting flying machines? That is rather interesting, but Infernal is going to go ham on the Mountain King at least. Holy Light onto the Dreadlord there, doing some extra little chip damage. TP Staff, is that TP Staff? That was a TP Staff. And he will be able to retreat. Alchemist needs to be careful, but the Infernal, I think he's just going to run it down to the expansion and at least force those peasants to get off the gold mine. So, it is doing a lot of damage to that arcane vault, but definitely the vault is should not actually be the target of the Inferno. You should be going for the gold mine there, since its Cloak of Flame should just discourage those peasants from sticking around. But for now, I think it's just going to retreat, try and I guess be used for its full duration, because the duration does equal its cooldown. So as soon as he wears off naturally, the Dreadlord can just drop another one down, and yeah, ideally it should be during an actual fight, since the stun is pretty big. Alright, so currently I think we are seeing some transition into Crypt Fiends. Knights are on the field, however, so that is going to make those Crypt Fiends' jobs a lot harder, since Knights are just so tanky. Firelord comes out as the third hero, so I'm not sure if the Firelord is just here as a desperation attempt to get a snowballing pseudo army out with those lava spawns, but we shall see. As here comes an engage. Will the Mountain King go for a bolt? No, he will just get slipped. And Archmage is going to wake up the Mountain King, as he is going to toss a Storm Bolt onto the Crypt Fiend there. Holy Light is going to be utilized to either heal or just DPS down, but yeah, Lucifer trying his best to focus down those Spellbreakers. Meanwhile, I mean, Blade doesn't need any troubles DPSing down those Lava Stones slash Crypt Fiends there, as Healing Spray, despite being a potentially powerful ability, does of course come in waves. So yeah, there is that. Infernal is going to be joining the fight finally. I actually have no idea where he was, but he is going to be going toe-to-toe against that Knight. He is going to wear out very, very soon. The Dreadlord needs to keep his mana in check, of course, to summon the next one very soon, as the Inferno is going to finally get taken down. There we go. Nice little screen there. Lava Spawn, I believe, did split itself, but it is going to get quickly focused down as soon as the Infernal is no longer on Blade's mind. 27 versus 60, this is a complete whitewash, as the Mountain King does get sniped with the Carrion Swarm, but remember that he chose to do that instead of actually summoning for another Infernal. And here comes the Flying Machines now that the Dreadlord has not enough mana for another Swarm, and now he's being chased down by the Pally. Oh, there we go, another Swarm, but only hit half of those Flying Machines, and those Flying Machines are going to be slowly killing off the final Destroyer, as the triple heroes here for the undead player, which surprisingly enough is not even the traditional triple heroes of
Our forces are under attack.
Death Knight Lich, Naga Sea Witch / Dark Ranger. It's really weird to see this triple hero combo, but it is getting slaughtered by the traditional human hero combo here. Archmage is level 6, so that might just be GG, because Mass Teleport is extremely difficult to deal with, especially since you've been losing team fights, and now that Lucifer is about 20 supply down and doesn't really have a good army comp versus human army comp, yeah, he's a little boned. Dreadlord is going to move out. He does have a mana pot, so he is going to drop down the Infernal when he gets a good grouping, and there we go, very nice grouping, able to hit a lot of those units, and a Swarm is going to do a ton of damage to those priests/sorceresses. Flying Machines probably have no more use now since there are no air units, but here we go with a sleep into a possible surround on the Archmage. He finally does have that replacement on the TP Scroll, but the Dreadlord is now stuck himself. TP Staff is actually on another hero, I believe. No, it's not even in the inventory, and he is going to get taken down level 6. And the TP Scroll is going to be used by the Archmage, and yeah, I believe he's just going to heal up and Mass Teleport back home, back to the fight. As Dreadlord dying at level 6 is a huge cost to pay, as I believe he's just going to get revived at the tavern. And now the army supplies is about, is it 30? About 30 supply difference. So yeah, really bad for Lucifer. His gold mine is finally going to get unsummoned. Infernal gets trapped between the trees and the gold mine there, so he is going to be forced to get killed off. Dreadlord will not be able to have that Infernal back up anytime soon. Actually, I don't even remember if you get revived, your cooldowns get reset, but I'm going to assume that it doesn't. So yeah, I'll just say it doesn't. So the Infernal has to wait, I believe, I think half duration for the cooldown. So yeah, feels bad. Blade is just going to be coming down here to wipe out the remainder of the undead army. And I mean, since the Black Citadel was unsummoned, Lucifer is currently being revealed, or very soon going to be revealed. Here we go with the fight here. Stormbolt onto the Dreadlord. He does have a health pot, a greater healing pot if he wants to, but I mean, to be honest, it is just stalling for the inevitable. Alchemist finally going to be using that acid bomb there, but is it going to be enough? I have no idea. Dreadlord is just going to be playing hide and go seek, as there we go. The seeking hammer is going to find the Dreadlord, and that will be another dead Dreadlord here. Giving level 3 over to the Pally, and that should be game, as literally nothing that Lucifer can do. Despite having a rather interesting hero comp, his army just wasn't good enough. Mass Destroyers came way too late, in my honest opinion. Came way too late. Yeah, I think his build order was maybe slightly inefficient. He could have definitely finished the graveyard before tier 3 even finished, but he wasted like 2 good minutes having to get any number of statues out, and that is, I don't know if that's solely the reason, but that's what I would have picked going out of this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys again whenever.